Okay, so video number 2 today is about our graphing guidelines. Now, I had shown you a document earlier in the year that was graphing guidelines that was for more of like hand-drawn graphs. We have updated our graphing guidelines to go more along with our Google Sheet graphs that we'll be doing all year this year. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about those, okay? So our scoring is a 6-point scoring system, so that's the exact same as it was before. It was 6 points. 1 point for the proper graph title, 1 point for the proper graph choice, 1 point if your IV is on the X and your DV is on the Y, that your data is properly inputted. So I know it does graph it for you, but if you don't put it in right, it doesn't work. And then 2 points for that your graph is customized. Now I will go into what customized means. You can also find this document on Unified Classroom under Lab Report handouts. Okay, so it will always be available to you. So the proper graph choice, you do a line graph typically when the data is continuous. So again, when you have those like half points that you could get, and a bar graph is when the X values do not have a logical intermittent points. So like types of fish, months, something like that. The title, remember, is the effect of the IV on the DV. So you have to identify your independent and dependent variables first to be able to do your title. Your axes are labeled with variable and units. So you have the variable and then your units in parentheses. The x-axis is labeled with the independent variable and the y is with the dependent variable. And then if you need an origin, it's in the lower left-hand corner of the graph. Now remember, that's just like a key. Your data input. So appropriate symbols are used to indicate data points. So you could have either a circle or an X. Your data is accurately plotted. So again, as long as you input your data correctly, it will be accurately plotted. A legend is added if there are multiple lines. And then the customization, so that's tick marks, grid lines, points and data labels, anything that you use in that customization tab. So you can make it colors, you can make the grid lines stick out, the tick marks stick out so it's easier to read. So you will have to have a minimum of a certain amount of customizations to get that full 2 points. So I should be able to read your graph easily. And if you think I need tick marks, you add the tick marks. If I need grid lines, you add grid lines. If you put the little point, the coordinate pairs and the point above the point on the graph, so it will populate above the point, that would be a great customization. Your data label, so everything is labeled with units and that I understand your graph. So I left this bullet point because there's always additional customization tabs that you can do. So if you find something else interesting in the customization that you think works better for your graph and it helps me understand your data, perfect, use it, okay? So if you have any questions about this, you are going to be making 2 graphs today. So make sure you take a look at this and you use those for your graphs, okay? They will be graded. Have a good day.